I'm curious about the squat thing. Like, whose house would it actually be then?
Well, they were council properties that weren't being used. But the final place that we did occupy did belong to someone else. It had just been sitting there a long time, and so that person sent a load of heavies around.
Really?
Yeah, it was terrifying. Actually, we got like the door got kicked in, and they rushed in, and they all had whatever the UK equivalent of a baseball bat is, and
it's a rounders bat.
Yeah, it was. They'd just come from a rounders match, and they looked like they were going to kick our heads in. So we were sort of thrown out onto the street, and I was like, okay, I'm not going to do this anymore.
How many of you were there in the squat?
I think there was about 6 of us or so. It was a really nice little spot.
I'd like to have lived in a squat, I think.
Yeah, it was great. It was a real sort of...
I don't know how I would have gone about... How do you do it? It's not in the yellow pages, is it? Like, how do you...
Well, when I moved to London, some friends of mine were already here, and that's what they were doing. So they kind of introduced me to it. So I was staying with them in their squat. And really the whole trick was that you I guess essentially you break in, but you change the locks and you don't leave any damage. So, as long as you're not damaging the property and you get in, and then once you're in, you kind of get your electricity and gas and everything sorted out. And there was a whole sort of kind of movement at that time, and there was a big sort of support network for people who were looking for housing. And I was like earning okay at the job centre, and then eventually I did sort of move into a housing co-op. But it was a good way for people on low incomes to get a start. I mean, it was a kind of creative community, but it was also a lot of weed being smoked. Yeah. It was just like it was just like a bunch of hippies, a lot of musicians, a lot of people just sort of sitting around playing music, and yeah.